I'm trying really hard not to be a cliche. I'm trying really hard not to just dunk on this contest. I want this to be better than it is. I think that's obvious. I want this to be something fun and interesting and enjoyable, and I really want this contest to just not suck. But the American Song Contest is not good. And I keep lowering my expectations, and I keep being like, oh, we'll keep this in check. And they still, it's like they can't get anything right. And it's so frustrating to watch this week after week and just see it get worse and worse. And next week is the final, and I don't even care. I'm not rooting for 90% of this. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. So, I am obligated to do this one more time. And what I hate is that I actually like a lot of these songs. And I like a lot of these artists. And just to see them continually get dogged on and just not given any kind of... Anyways, let's start with the positive. Number one going through is, of course, as predicted, Tyler Braden with 17. We knew this would go through. There is zero surprise here. The juries are... This is what makes them hard. This is what makes them love. This is what they are craving. And it's completely against everything that I think the contest should represent, because they're just sending through their jury picks again, and it's frustrating. So, why does this even exist? Who are we actually voting for here? Because we know in the grand final next week, I'm frustrated. I am very frustrated by this. And I have nothing against Tyler Braden. He is a fine artist. His country song is decent. This has too much of it. And even though it's a perfectly acceptable country song, it's so frustrating to see this just go through and coast by once again. No changes to the performance. Ugh. Anyways, their second choice of the night was Broderick Jones, Kansas with Tell Me. And honestly, this is one of the songs that I unashamedly think is fantastic. I liked his performance. He was having fun. The way that they did the staging for him is beautiful. I love the moon. I love the stars. I love the whole shooting star aspect with the pyrotechnics that they added. That's really cool. He actually has chemistry with the dancers, and he doesn't just treat them like accessories. Maybe he does behind the scenes, but who cares? It was fine, and I really enjoyed the performance. I think he did a great job. I really think that this is a song that's almost too good for the contest. But at the same time, even though it's coming in second with the jury, I don't trust that this will go through. I hope it does, because it definitely is one of the few songs that I think deserves to be in the final. But I don't know if it'll go through. I just don't know. Anything that I think is even remotely good, I don't know if it will go through. Next up in their lineup was Sweet Taboo with Keys to the Kingdom. I'm going by jury points, by the way, so I'm starting from the top of the jury and then ranking them accordingly by myself. Keys to the Kingdom is a bop. It's great. I feel like a song like this would do really well anywhere you put it. You can put it through Eurovision. Their chemistry is great. Their performance is lovely. They have a lot of really interesting staging. It's fun, and it's unashamedly tough girl, and it's really good. And it's a lot of fun. And I really hope that they also make it to the finale, because I think that they would deserve it. Going John Morgan with North Carolina and Right in the Middle. I think that that's the perfect place for it. It's right in the middle. It's not bad. It's not great. It's just right in the middle. It's plain water served at room temperature. It's a bland country song, but it's not a bad country song. It could very easily lean in that direction, but at this point I feel like everyone's moved on. No one's still talking about the American Song Contest. No one cares about the American Song Contest. And there's just a lot here that needs to be dissected and looked into and talked about. So that's what I am here doing, because I don't think there's any reason not to. Anyways, moving on. The next one they had in the running, oh my god, I can't believe that scored higher. Of course it did. It's a bland country song by a white guy who just... Anyways. Next up in the jury rank, I can't believe that's so high. Why? Next up in the jury ranking is Michael Bolton with Connecticut and Beautiful World. And he did better this time. I'm no longer worried that he's tottered off the stage. I'm no longer worried that he's scared or that there is something bad happening to... Michael Bolton has become he's too good for this contest. He really is. There's nothing about this that says I am a strong, vibrant performer, but it was much better done in the semifinals than in the original. And maybe it's because they just they just packed that stage full of anything to distract you or anything to add extra life to it. Let's make a golden world. It's a very Eurovision song, and they've actually nailed the aesthetic, and he's done fine. I am less hard on Michael this time because, who did they have next? North Dakota, Chloe Frederick. It's fine. It's not bad. It's still where it is. I don't think that there's any major changes to that. She's still a great singer, very Adele, like vocal wise. Chris brought up that because she's the only anyone who's even remotely connected to the Native American culture, it's disappointing that the song has nothing to do with that or doesn't sound like that at all. But I don't know what else to say there. Next up was Puerto Rico, Christian Pagan, Loco. It's still great. I like Loco a lot. It hasn't really grown on me the same way other songs have, but it still gets stuck in my head sometimes. I think he's a good performer. Really interesting look. I like the upgrade that he did. It's a lot more fun. I feel like all of my songs from now on are just these are the good songs. These are the good songs, and they're not these ones. Me and the jury are just diametrically opposed, and I don't think that that's a cool thing. But Christian was great. Performed well. It's still a fun song. Don't hate it. So, for what it's worth. Mr. Independent is kind of like the top of the middle. I know a lot of people are enjoying the song. I don't think that it's the best. I'm really tired of people getting very upset at specifically Alexa for lip syncing when like half of these performers are lip syncing. And you can tell them relying on the backing track. You can't move around like that and sound vocally equal all the time. You cannot move. It's physically impossible. When you move, there is a part of your voice that connects to your throat, and you hear it. Like there is a movement behind it. And you can tell that the vocals on the track that are coming through are not there. And the worst perpetrator of that is Stella Cole DIY Georgia, and that's kind of why I would consider her at the bottom of the pack, because there was a moment where she was singing the chorus and it said DIY, but all three were like, why is the only person of color, like why is the only K-pop artist getting shat on because she's lip syncing when she's doing something amazing that's really cool? Why is no one else crapping on these other people? Is it because they're white? Obviously it's because they're white. Obviously what they are doing here isn't connecting, it isn't working, and it's So moving on. They had the audacity, they had the gall, the gumption to put Tanel 11th or 10th out of 11? What the actual hell? This is one of the more... She sang it well. It's a good song. It's peaceful. This is the song that should be at the forefront, but it's not as radio friendly as the other ones, so they're dogging it, and I hate that. And I hate that I see that. And this is easily my second favorite. I don't even know who I prefer. Do I prefer Tanel or do I prefer Broderick? They're both great. I like them. I want more of them. I want more of them. I don't want more of this. I don't want more crap. I don't need more crap. But they're giving it to us. And we just have to lay back and take it? No. And then to put New York, this was your wild card, and you put it in last. But of course you did. Because where else are you going to put the one that was last? Like, even New Boot Goofin' got a little bit of love. New Boot Goofing, where was that in the lineup? They had that last week in 10th. It beat Riker Lynch, and Riker Lynch still made it through. I don't get it. Anyways, where do I put Anissa? I put Anissa in solid A tier, probably right between Keys to the Kingdom and Loco. Good song. It's really well performed. It's Eurovision to a T. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I'm expecting this to be something it's not. Maybe I'm expecting Eurovision here, and they're just unable to give me that. They don't want me to want to like this. They want something they want radio. They want something typical and ignorable and something that won't make a splash and something that will make them just enough money to maybe get another season. But if this is the crap you're presenting, you're not going to get another season. And to find out that these people are the ones who are making Eurovision Canada, it fills me with rage. I am so frustrated. And I'm going to I'm not going to talk too much about Eurovision Canada right now because I'm still sitting with that. And I know that the only way they can not screw it up is if there's someone like me, preferably me, but if there's someone like me on the roster who can be like, this isn't working. This is what isn't working in America. How can we make this what this is here? And what do we do about that to make sure that this is what goes through? But this is not it. This is not it. This is not what we want. This is not what should be happening. I shouldn't be able to predict the finals. But right now, I feel like Tyler Braden's going to win. Because I don't see any alternative. I don't see how something that a jury favors could I don't know how they're going to do the voting next week. I don't. Maybe they'll have an active social scene, in which case, who knows? Maybe it'll go to Riker Lynch again, somehow. Maybe it'll go to Alexa, even though I doubt it. Not because I don't think she's good, but because, it is what it is. I think that it's very telling that of the 5 performers who went through last week, only 2 of them were jury picks. I think that's very, very, very telling. And at this point, next week, I have Eurovision. I can look forward to Eurovision proper, and I don't have to deal with this anymore. That's what I'm looking forward to. So, that's my opinion on the American Song Contest semifinals too. And I'll be back probably later this week because I don't want to do a grand final video for them next week. And yeah, that's about where I'm at. All right. Well, you folks have been good to me. If you want to hear me yell at more things, please subscribe. It helps me out. And apart from that, you can find me online at The Big Shabam. You can find my clothing at One Cheek Geek. And until then, I'll see you later.